welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody is doing well. Today I want to talk about using magnetic frames for large diamond paintings. In this case, specifically this one. So a few days ago, about 4 days ago, I was in a different room and I heard this diamond painting fall. So I came through and sure enough the diamond painting was in a heap underneath these small pictures. It had fallen from the frame, and the thing is, I had actually glued this one in using Gorilla Glue, but after looking at it I realised what had went wrong, and I thought I would do a video about it just to make people aware that even if you glue them in, there is a chance they're going to fall out, and I'm going to explain why. So this is a magnetic frame, and they are really intended for posters. They're not really intended for diamond paintings, but they will easily hold smaller sizes like 30 by 40, that sort of size, with no problems. The problem is when you start going up to the big sizes, there is a lot of weight in a large diamond painting, and the magnets in these things just aren't designed to hold that. So just to let you see how they work, this is the top part, and I know that because it's got the string. So this is what hangs up on a nail or whatever on the wall, and then you've got two strips of wood with small magnets. So these discs that you can see are small magnets, but they are strong magnets, and it's the magnets that hold everything together. They click together and you have your poster, if you're using it as a poster frame. Your poster is in between the magnets and they clamp it, and exactly the same thing for a diamond painting. So what happened with this one, when I actually tried it with magnetic frames, now the hoverfly is a custom, and it is 75 by 80, so it's a reasonably big diamond painting. It has added up on the inventory sheet how many drills. It has 93,786 drills. That is a lot of drills to fall. So as I said, it had fallen, scrunched up behind the small diamond paintings, and I thought, oh, this is going to be bad. So I lifted it up and I lay it out on the table and I checked it over, and only 9 drills were missing. 9, not 9,900, 9. So I was very lucky that more than that didn't fall. The diamond painting hasn't been sealed, hasn't been touched. Basically, I put the drills on, I press with a roller to press the drills in before I hang them, and that's it. I don't put any sealant or anything on them. So from that point of view, it did very, very well. But when I had a look at the frame, what had happened was, initially I had tried it without anything, just the magnets to hold it, and as soon as I tried to pick it up, it slipped out. That was at the very beginning, before this happened. So I thought, right, okay, these magnets are not going to hold it. So what I did was I put Gorilla Glue all the way along here and here, and put the canvas in between and basically glued it in. So you couldn't replace or switch out the picture, it's basically set. So that picture, for people who have been watching the videos, will have seen that picture sitting there quite a long time, quite a few months, no problems, and then a few days ago it suddenly fell. What had happened was the glue had attached itself to the canvas and attached itself to this tape, and what happened was the tape came away from the frame. So the canvas was actually still glued to this, but what happened was the tape came away. So it was basically the tape that was actually holding it up. I thought when I glued it that the glue would saturate the tape and penetrate the wood, and that would be fine, and for long enough it did seem to be okay. So I thought, okay, how am I going to fix this? So I decided, forget the glue thing. I did think about removing the tape completely, putting glue on the wood, and then gluing gluing the canvas directly to the wood. But the problem that I had was the front part here was already glued to the canvas, and it was not going to be easy to try and get that off. So I decided what to do was use a staple gun. So I went out and I bought this type of staple gun. So you squeeze the trigger and the staples come out here. So the first thing I did before I actually bought that was I measured the thickness of the wood, because I did not want the staples going through and showing on the front. So these are 6mm staples, and they go in but they don't pop out the other side, so I don't have little silver dots. If I did, I could have used black spray paint or even a marker probably, just to hide those tiny little bits, but I was lucky that these ones are actually just the right length. These are actually the smallest ones I could find, 6mm, and that's the depth that they go in, 6mm. So what I did was I put the canvas down on the table, I got my key that I had kept, and I looked at the symbols that were missing drills on the canvas, and I went and got my spare DMC drills and took out the drills I needed and put them back in. The glue on the canvas was still sticky, so just put them in, ran the small roller over them just to seat them in, and then I'll lay the canvas down and centered it, and then I used the staple gun and just basically stapled it in. So it now has, I'm trying to remember, I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 staples, just to make sure it doesn't warp out or anything like that. So now that picture is hanging by staples. It sort of defeats the idea of using magnetic frames so that you can just swap out diamond paintings. I've got this cartoon cow that I recently finished. It does say cartoon cow, so it is a cow, believe it or not. So basically the frame is going along the edge of the drills as close, as tight as you can get it. But obviously what I do before I frame them is I cut the sides off. I don't like seeing the white borders. I think it looks kind of weird seeing white borders either side and black at the top and bottom. So I trim these right to the very edge, just using normal scissors. Just trim the canvas up the sides, leave the top and the bottom, and the frame goes on that. This size, the frame will, this is actually too big for this one. You get various sizes. I do have some smaller ones, but just for the idea. So you have the one with the string on it would go behind, and you'd centre it, but obviously you'd have a shorter frame, so it's only little bits that stick out. And then you put the other one on top, and the magnets click, and that's it. You can pick it up, and you can see, I mean, all I'm doing is holding the ends like that. I'm not squeezing anything, so it's the magnets that are holding it up. And this is a, what is it, a 30 by 40, I think. It's underneath here. And these frames will hold this, no problem. The magnets are strong, even though they're small. Oh, okay, it's a 25 by 30. But there isn't a problem using them with these small diamond paintings, so the idea is that you can store these somewhere, and every once in a while you can think, yeah, I fancy a change of scenery, take out a different diamond painting, take this off, put your new diamond painting in, clip it back, and then hang it up. So you can chop and change. You don't have to buy a frame for every single picture. That is the point. You save a lot of money. The other thing that you might think is, well, why don't you just put the big one in a frame with glass? The reason that I don't do that is because I don't like reflections on the glass. You find that if you've got them framed and you've got a window and it's daytime, you see the reflection of the window on the glass. You can't really see the diamond painting. You don't see the drills properly. So just to try and give you an idea of what I mean, this obviously isn't in any frame, so I'll move the light over it and you can still see the whole picture. If I take this one that is behind glass already, you can see. Now if you've got a window that the light is shining in, you'll get a big rectangle of white. If it's at night and you've got the light on somewhere in the room, the chances are you're going to get the light reflecting. When you try and take pictures, you get reflections of you. I just feel that it affects the idea of diamond painting, that they're sparkly and you can see them from any angle. If you've got any light source in the room, you can see even sitting there, the light that I've got above the table is shining, so it looks like a white line. And sometimes if that was a light fitting somewhere and I had this hung on the wall and the light was in a set place and I had to have the light on, I would have this annoying white line. Whereas if you don't have glass or perspex, I think this one's perspex actually, it doesn't matter, they both reflect, they both are as bad as each other. So that's why I no longer frame behind glass or anything. The big thing initially when I started, everybody said, or nearly everybody said, put it behind glass because it stops dust and stops the drills from falling off. Now I've got five diamond paintings in this room. Some of them have been hanging for over a year and they still look as shiny as ever. They don't look dusty. I'm not saying that they aren't, but you can't visibly see it. If I wanted to, I could get like a feather duster type thing and just gently whisk over the top, take off any dust that may be there. But really now I don't see any reason to do it. It isn't as big an issue as I thought it was going to be, because everybody was saying, well, put it behind glass, that way it won't get all dusty. I'm just thinking I'm going to take one actually. Now this has been hanging for, I don't know, I should have thought about this before I started, but there you go. This one's been hanging for, I would say, a year at a guess. It has never been touched by a duster. And this is what it looks like. And if I move the light, maybe if I move the light a bit lower, hopefully I can get an angle where you can see the drills. The funny thing is the camera doesn't pick it up that well, but you have to trust me in this. This is very shiny. Maybe here you can see as I move the light. And this hasn't been touched at all in a year. Now I don't see any problem with it at all. So the dust issue to me actually isn't an issue, but I suppose it depends how dusty your house is. But I would think for most people it wouldn't be a problem. So you can see this one is actually a better one. Again, magnetic frame, it's a smaller one, so it's exactly the right size for this one. So again, this is purely magnets that's holding this up, nothing else. Maybe I'll show you a bit closer without bumping the stand. You can see that's still nice and but sparkly. I was going to say shiny, then I was going to say sparkly, so I said sparkly. So it's a very sparkly diamond painting with a year's worth of dust. So I just thought I would mention that as well, that they don't become dust magnets and they're all fluffy after a year, at least not in this case. And as I said, I have another 4. This is the smallest one, and all of them look fine. Even the one that fell down, obviously I had a really good look at that when it fell and I was checking for missing drills. I never noticed any dust on it, anything obvious, and that's been up for quite a long time as well. So that's it pretty much. I just thought I would explain what happened, why it happened. So basically, if you put glue on these, the glue does not go through the tape, so it's the gum on the tape that is actually taking the weight, and eventually it's going to fall. So if you want to have large diamond paintings without glass or anything that's going to detract from it with reflections, I would definitely recommend that you staple your canvas to the frame. So, lesson learned: if you want to hang a large diamond painting in a magnetic frame, staple the canvas to the frame. I think I was extremely lucky that only 9 drills came off. It only fell from where it, I'll get this right yet, it only fell from where it is onto the top of that unit, so it didn't fall that far, but it did scrunch up. So I really did expect a lot of drills to be missing, and I was delighted that there were only 9. But as I said, it's a lesson learned. I thought that the glue would go all the way through, and it didn't. You could possibly, if you wanted, you could take that tape off. I think the tape is there basically to stop any posters getting scratched. It's just a soft layer, a soft surface. So if you're putting posters in, they don't get scratched. The magnets, I haven't actually checked that, but I think the magnets will be glued in. Maybe they're not, maybe the tape is holding them in as well, I don't know. You could try taking the tape off and just covering that in glue and gluing it straight to the canvas. But after what happened, I'm a bit wary about it, so I feel safer that I now have, as I said, I think it's 5 staples along the top there, which means I can't change it, I can't swap it out, which is the big advantage of magnetic frames. If you're doing the smaller diamond paintings, you can build up a collection, store them somewhere, and when you feel like it, change the picture, just take the frame off, clip it on the other one, and there you go. They are available in different sizes though. Now the thing is, this one is still hanging by magnets, and it's been there long, I think, has it? Yeah, I think it's been there longer than this one has been up. I didn't glue it, I just tried it and I held it up and I waved it very slightly and it didn't fall out, and I thought, okay, put it up. Now I am going to get the stapler out and I'm going to staple the canvas to the frame. I don't want it to happen again, and I don't think I could be that lucky twice. So again, you could say put it in the frame. If I did that at the moment, if these were both in frames with glass or perspex, you would be looking at 2 lights. I've got one either side, and they would reflect in these pictures, so you would just see 2 big spotlights basically, which sort of spoils the view. So that's my big bugbear about the glass and the plastic. I really don't like the way they affect the picture. As soon as you get any kind of light, it acts like a mirror, and you will find that if you're trying to take pictures of your diamond painting that you've just finished and you've got it in a nice frame, you want to show everybody, and then you realise, hang on a minute, if I stand here, you can see me, you can see the phone, you can see ceiling lights in the background, all that stuff. So then you get a bit creative at where you actually stand and the angle you take the picture, trying not to get all that stuff in. But again, the main thing is if you're walking through the room or walking past the diamond painting, you're not looking at a reflection of a window as you go by. You're watching the drills sparkle as the light hits them at different angles, and that's the whole point. That's why they're called diamond paintings. So I will still continue to use magnetic frames. The small ones I will do, as I said, I keep them all in a little folder, and I just swap them out when I feel like it. Once I get to the heavier ones, from now on, they're getting stapled. I'm not going to take the risk. So I just thought I'll post a video for people who are thinking about maybe using magnetic frames. Be aware that once you get into the bigger sizes, those magnets are actually designed to hold up posters, which weigh nothing. So it's better to be safe than sorry. And that's it. So again, it was just something that happened, and I thought, okay, I'll need to tell people what happened, just so hopefully it doesn't happen to anyone else. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more unboxings, unbaggings, comparisons, magnetic frames, actually thinking about it, I do have a video about how to set up a diamond painting for a magnetic frame, and I will actually put that up here. I'll put a link to that if you're thinking about magnetic frames, or if you've never heard of magnetic frames and want to find out a little bit more about them, you can check that out. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.